Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to Money Talk. Today, we have a really fantastic day and a great topic to talk about. If you've been tuning in, if you're just tuning in this week we're talking about some incredible things. As you know, yesterday we talked about the rule of 72 and the importance of learning the rule of 72. And this week we're talking about understanding financial concepts, right? And my whole saying, my saying is very clear. If you understand financial concepts, you know what product you need to use. And the problem with a lot of things that's happening around us today is that we don't understand financial products, right? No, we understand financial products. We don't understand financial concepts. And the reason why we're not getting the wealth that we truly desire and the wealth that we want to have is due to the nature of not understanding concepts, right? Because if you understand concepts, then it will justify what product you should be using, right? Products change. I always say this: product change, concepts remain the same. You understand? The rule of 72 The rule of 72 been around for more than 50 years. Concepts stay the same, right? You know, when you look at it, 50, 20, 30 budgeting formula, concepts remain the same. Products change, right? So, but if you understand the concepts, then you understand the products that you need. You see, many of us spend so many years trying to understand products, right? And by the time you understand the product change, right? Something change. Like right now, I see there's a big shift in our monetary system, right? A big shift, but the monetary system didn't change. The concept didn't change, but the currency will, right? These are things that I sit back and I watch, and I get my confirmation in such a manner because I see that concepts don't change. It's just the product. The product change. Concept don't change. Right. So that's why Money Talk is here to teach you guys concepts. Teach you the concepts. So that way you can learn more about the concept. So that way, if you want to make a change, you can know what product to change. Let me tell you something. As things get better over time, right? As things get better over time, and if I see there's better products than what I already commit to, I change the product, but the concepts remain the same. Okay? I just want you guys to remember that, right? Never forget that. Never get caught up in the whole, oh, the product, the product. No, no, no. You got it wrong. You got it all wrong. It's never about the product, it's about the concepts. And that's why when you learn the concepts, you know what product you need. Okay? So today, we're going to talk about the X curve, right? It's a beautiful concept that you must learn. It's a beautiful concept that you must know. It's called the X curve concept. Now, why is the X curve concept important to learn? Why is the X curve concept a good thing to know? Why is the X curve a beautiful thing that you must understand? It's because the X curve is something that every wealthy and responsible person must understand. Now, the real question is, are you a responsible person? Because if you are a responsible person, then you should learn the concept of the X curve because the X curve is for responsible people. Now, if you've never heard of the X curve concept before, don't feel bad. Okay? Don't feel bad. Don't feel like, how come I never heard of this before if it's so important? It's just like many of you never learned your FIN number. It's just like many of you never learned about the 50-20 budgeting formula. So, like I said, don't feel bad. Just be happy that you're going to learn it today. Right? And that's how we're going to move on. We're not going to stress why we didn't learn this. We're not going to stress, I wish I knew this 20 years ago. No, no, no. No, no, no. We're not going to do that today. Okay? We ain't going to do that. We're just going to take what we get today and move forward, right? Move forward. Today's a new day. You're just born. Welcome to the world, all right? And that's where it is. So the X curve. What is an X curve? Why is the X curve so important? How come I never learned about it? Well, guys, you see the X curve? What the X curve does is that it gives you an idea of a simple way to understand life, okay? Especially life in your financial life, at least. What you got to do is draw a slanted X, right? Like an X from one side to the other side. And the best way, a matter of fact, I could pull that up for you to show you, right? I want to pull this up and show you. Because the X curve is such an important concept, right? Because many of us never understood life with our finances, okay? And the reason why no one tried to teach us is because they tell us that they are the professional. Can you imagine how rude are these people? They are the professional. So what? We can't be professional too. We're not fit and capable of understanding finance. We're not fit and capable of taking control of our money. Well, you think we're just dumb and illiterate all around? No, no. I don't think you are. I don't think that you are. But people out there do. All right. There's people out there that do. And they're not afraid to keep reminding you that you're not capable. All right. So let me show you what's going on here. All right. And let's get into this X curve concept, because now what I want you guys to do, go to your participant section. Have any of you on this call today, have you ever heard of the X curve? Right? Have you ever heard of X curve concept? Right? Because if you never heard of the X curve concept, it's so important for you to learn, guys. The X curve concept is so important to learn. So what is the X curve? As you can see here, you see what it says? It tells you that the X curve is for the responsible. All right. Give me a second. I'm strolling back up. And the reason why it's important for you to learn about the X curve. All right. So I wanted to show you it as a visual. Here it is. All right. So when you draw the X, okay, this is what it looks like. You draw the X just like this. Okay. Just like this. And this is what your X curve looks like. Now, you may look at this and say, Keon, this is just an X. What's the big deal? What's the big deal, Keon? It's just an X. I'm here to tell you that, yes, it is just an X. But this X says more about your life than your financial advisor ever did. This little X that you're looking at says a lot more about your life than any of your financial advisors ever did. Okay? And I want you to know that, because if you don't learn this, then how can you win the money game? Right? How can you win the money game if you never learn about the X curve? So let me show you how easy it is. You see this X? You see that little blue line? The blue line in the X curve represents the wealth. That's your wealth curve. And the black line is called your responsible curve. They said there's two things that happen in your life, okay? It's either you live too long or you die too soon. These are two events that takes place in your life. It's either you live too long or you die too soon. Is that fair to say? Is that a fair statement to say? Right? Yes or no? It's either you live too long or you die too soon. Right? So now, what must you do when you're younger, so that way if you do get older, you live too long, right? What must you do? Well, let's look at the X curve. Is it fair to say that when you're younger, right? Is it fair to say that when you're younger, and you're taking care of your family, right? You're taking care of your family. You're going to have a lot of responsibilities, right? You're going to have a lot of responsibilities. You're going to have the kids. You're going to have the house. You're going to have a mortgage. You're going to have a house. You're going to probably have some debt. You're going to probably have your kids' debt. You're going to probably have, you know, an income that someone depends on. So you have a lot of responsibility. So your responsibility is quite high because you're taking care of your family, right? You're taking care of your family. So what must you do and understand is that, yes, you're generally less secure when you're younger, taking care of your family. But here's the thing. Because you have such high responsibilities, that's the same reason why you have such little wealth, right? Such little wealth. But as time progresses, right? Like as time progresses, think about this. I want you to imagine this now. Time progressing, as you get into your midlife, right? Let's say that you're right here in the middle of the curve, right? The middle of the curve now. This is the middle of the curve. And now at this moment in your life, there's a transition that happened in your life. It's the transition of when your children is grown up, okay? Your children's growing up. Your house is almost paid off. You're almost completely 100% debt free, right? You're almost there. You're almost there. The kids are probably like 17, right? 17, almost 18, or they almost off to college, right? But there's a transition that happened in your life. And you probably never see it because you never understood what's going on. So I'm here to remind you what is going on. This is the transition where, because when you are younger, you started saving $10 a day. Because you were younger, you're saving $10 a day, $300 a month, because that's what you could have done at the time, right? And because you did this over a period of time, your responsibility is falling down. You're paying down your debts, you know, you're building up your credit at the same time. And then guess what? Your responsibilities, look at the responsibility, look at the black line, the responsibility line start to fall. It starts to fall because why? As you get older, this is the time where you start taking care of your future. Why? What I mean by this? I mean that as you see the responsibility curve start to go low, is because your kids are grown. By the time you get time for you want to retire, your house is paid off, right? The car is paid off, no debt, right? All of this is done. So the responsibility is done for you. And then in that same token, because you started saving early when you're younger, guess what? Over a period of time, as you get older, right? When you take care of your future, the wealth would have grown. The wealth would have built up. You see it? You see how that blue line would have grown? Because you just started saving. So imagine the fact that 30 years prior, let's say that you were 35, when you're younger right here, 35, you're saving $10 a day, right? Which is $300 a month, right? 30 years from now, you got an average return of 8%. That wealth would have grew to $447 plus thousand, right? At an 8% over a 30-year period. And the responsibility would have dropped because the kids and the house have been paid off, right? Look at this. So let me even give you more in depth, right? Let's look at this thing even more. You see the wealth curve? Look, the responsibility curve. This is what we mean when we say your responsibility curve. What are some of the responsibilities? Children, your mortgage, college and university savings, debts. So what must you have in place for these events right here? This is why you got to own life insurance. So when people tell you about, oh, life insurance for when you die, no, no, no. Life insurance is not about just dying. Life insurance is to make sure that your responsibility doesn't become someone else's burden. Owning life insurance is to make sure that your responsibilities doesn't become someone else's burden. You don't want to be a burden to somebody. You don't want if you have your children and something happens to you and your spouse. Someone's taking all your kids and you didn't leave behind no money for them. No money. You don't want something to happen to you where, and then the balance of the mortgage is left on your spouse and the children. You don't want something to happen to you, and if something happened to you or your spouse, the kids' college education can't be paid for. You don't want something to happen to you and your debts become someone else's debt, especially if you're married. That's why you got to have the right amount of insurance in place when you're younger, right? Altogether, in general, you should have it, because until these things are paid off, you got to make sure that they will be paid off even if you die, right? But guess what? If you saved up enough, if you saved up enough, if you're putting $300 away, right, in the right tool, the right vehicle, could be life insurance, it could be anything, right? And you save, that money would have grew. It would have grew inside of in there, right? So the X curve really give you an idea of what one should do. Because when people think about life insurance, you think about life insurance and say, I want the cheapest one for more. Give me the cheapest one for more, right? And most people end up with a term. And then someone say, well, I want something permanent. And they give you a whole life. But what if I told you that those two products is probably one of the most two outdated products? You're not getting access to all your options that is available to you. No way. No way you're not. I'm sorry. They're not giving you all your options. They're not giving you all the opportunity to know what is good for you. That's why you need to learn your X curve. Because you know what the X curve help you to learn? Let me show you. Let me show you what the X curve help you to learn. It help you to learn how to even take care of your house. If you want to pay off your house, right? You want to pay off your house? Let me show you again. Let's show you it again. Let's show you the mortgage, right? How can you use the X curve? This is your mortgage, right? Your responsibilities. These are your monthly payments, your mortgage. If you're able to pay, eventually, yes, you pay it off and the mortgage will drop. But what if you were able to accelerate your payment, meaning that you paid more on your mortgage? You see, guys, that's why you got to sit down with a professional, right? Many of you guys, do you realize that the first 10 to 15 years in your mortgage, it goes to the interest? You didn't even touch the principal yet. But do you want to accelerate that? Do you want to accelerate that where the first 5 years goes to the interest, and the next 5 start touching the principal and pay off your house much faster? Wouldn't you like to learn how to do that? Wouldn't you love to learn how to do that? That's why it says right here, it says X curve for the responsible. It's for the responsible. How responsible do you want to be? Do you want to take over? Do you want to take control of your finances? Are you ready to be in control? Are you ready to be the person that changed your life? Do you want to change your life? Do you want to change your X curve? Do you want to make a better life for yourself and your family? I hope you do, because I want you to. And you can do it. That's why it says the true meaning behind the X curve is the responsibility. It says if people are not responsible, the curve is of no benefit. There are people who spend hundreds of dollars a month drinking, partying, and gambling, but have no insurance. Others shop until they drop on plastic money, aka their credit cards, right? Parents spoil their kids with toys and lavish birthdays, yet save nothing into their college funding. Their popularity and their image take, and their friends, these things take a high priority than the future of their family. It says that the person with responsibility knows where his or her priority is, and that's their family's financial future. So you must know what you want and what you need. You have to you got to have a clear goal and a plan to achieve it. So if you've been with me long enough, you've heard me talk about the fact that the goal is to create a financial foundation. The plan is using the wealth formula as a guide. That's the goal in the plan. So quite often, the person who doesn't care about protection for their family also don't worry about saving for the rainy day. And if they die too soon, their family will suffer. And if they live too long, many become a burden to their children. Let me tell you something, guys. Your kids, let me be the first to remind you guys this. Your kids don't owe you nothing. Okay? Your kids, they don't owe you nothing. Parents do not do that to your children. Do not say, I raised you, I did. They don't owe you nothing. They don't. You brought them to this world. You got them to this world. Do not be that person and say, you owe me something because I took care of you. No, you sat there and had that child. You brought that child into this world. It is your responsibility to make sure that they grow up. And if they grow up and they repay you and do for you, that is something that you should not expect from them. It's something that it's called blessing. You will hope your child will do it out of the, but do not feel that they're obligated to. That child owe you nothing. Nothing. All right? Because at the end of the day, you were their parents. So don't be a burden to your child. Put your financial foundation together. Put things in place so you don't become that. And I guarantee the relationship with your children will be way better, right? But it says, but for the people who care for their family, if they die too soon, they'll have enough insurance protection for their loved ones. They also believe in saving for their children's college education. And if they live too long, they have enough savings to take care of themselves in their later year. Now, without responsibility, there is no insurance need and no savings. There's no excurve. So what I'm trying to tell you is this, guys. Learn what must you have. Put the things in place that you need so that way you could not become a burden to your children. As a matter of fact, if you do it so well and you teach your child very well, guess what? They will also grow up to adapt to such great qualities. Great qualities that you would instill in your children. And these qualities is something that they will take with them throughout life and instill it in their family, into their kids. Wealth, don't pass down just money to your children and say, oh, I passed down wealth. I've put things in place. No. The best wealth you could give your children, the best wealth you could give your friends, the best wealth you could give your loved ones is financial literacy. Think about it. Everything you're doing in your life, from school to adulthood, is to make money. It's to make money. So if making money is the end goal, why don't you start learning about money before you start making it? Start teaching the kids about money before they start making it, right? Because the goal is to, that's why I tell them, go to school, get a good grade, go to good college, find a good job. That's why you tell them that slogan, right? It's ultimately to then do what? It's ultimately not to make bad money. It's to make good money. So making good money is the goal in the end. Well, why don't you start teaching them about how money works? So maybe they can start saving, because if they learn their FIN number, but better yet, you got to learn your FIN number. Do you know what a FIN number is? Because if you don't know your FIN number, I advise you to learn it. I truly do. I truly, truly do. And that's why we teach families it. Because if you learn your FIN number, you would have started encouraging your child to save every dime of money that ever come their way. Trust and believe me. Because your FIN number will remind you that you're late. I was late. And I'm 32. But I started, right? I started saving. Okay? So, quick announcements. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the dime method. Ooh, this is another good one of mine. I love to talk about the dime method. We're going to talk about the dime method. And following after tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to be talking about the budgeting formula and the 10-20 formula, right? And then we're also going to talk about Friday. You know what? I'm going to give you guys the FIN number. I'm going to help you to learn the FIN number Friday. All right? So come prepare for that. Also, remember that we have workshops. We have workshops all week, every week. All right? Monday through Sunday. We have workshops. So these workshops will be taking place at 2 p.m. Eastern time and 10 p.m. Eastern time. We have workshops. Okay? So mark down your calendar, Monday through Sunday, and we can give you access if you want to get more access to our workshops. So if you didn't know about our 30 by 30 financial literacy campaign that was launched May 30th of this year, where financial education isn't an option, it's a necessity. And that's why our company, World System Builder, is committed to educating and empowering 30 million families by the year 2030. That's what this movement is really all about. And at the end of the day, if you'd like to learn more in our classes, we have financial literacy classes on this very same login number that you're on, where we teach you the 4 steps to financial freedom every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern time. These are all Eastern time. Use the same number that you're using right now to be on Money Talk, and you'll get access to that. Also, if you're open and want to learn more about how to become an educator with us, you can learn more about the opportunity and the campaign. You can learn how we empower people every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time. You're more than welcome to come and learn about the campaign as well. And just so you know, we have would love for you guys to go check out my brother Rory Douglas on YouTube. He has a show that is similar to Money Talk. It's called Holla at a Scholar. I tell you guys, really good content over there as well. Definitely subscribe and go check him out. And just so you know, Money Talk is every Mondays through Fridays at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And like I said, use the very same numbers, but also you could check us out on Spotify on the go, right? If you want to go check it out on Spotify on the go, you could check out our YouTube channel, right? You just type in Money Talk with Mr. Finance. We have over 67 recorded classes already. So you could even go there and catch up. If this is your first one, you go catch up on the rest that you've missed. And then also we have SoundCloud and iTunes, right? All our podcasts, and you can follow us on Instagram at BShynaz, all right? And definitely follow the movement. So I just want to remind you that you are one decision away from changing your future for the better. So always remember, the choice is always yours.